I am relatively famous for leaving things unfinished. As an Aries, cardinal fire, I get a lot of things started. I jump out of bed early and race into the dawn. But then I get distracted. I lose my way. I leave things behind or just simply leave them undone. I discovered this footage I shot back in November. I didn't just shoot it, I actually cut it together in a 7-minute movie. Why did I do that? I have no memory of it. Well, I think I remember filming this day. I saw this shaft of light from my window lighting up this manzanita, and I knew I only had a few minutes to run down and capture it, so I did. It took a lot of footage, must have cut it very shortly thereafter, and then promptly forgot about it, as I do. I'm told this is an ADHD trait, whatever those letters stand for, whatever that label means. I heard someone on YouTube use the term neurospicy, so I've picked that up. It's a spin on neurodivergent, neurospicy. But then again, what is divergent? Diverge from what? The norm? I don't know any normal people, so maybe it's the labels that are weird. Our society is geared for people who get things done and race to the top and maximize shareholder profits. YouTube makes even the creators attempt to conform with this sort of factory churn of content, an excuse to sell advertising. Like David Byrne once said, lyrics are tricks musicians use to get people to listen to music longer than they ordinarily would. Here I discovered this old footage lying forgotten in my phone of a beautiful morning last fall when the manzanita were in full ripe berry and the hard, strangely warm winter had not yet dried them to a crisp before their fairy bells have come out in the spring, which is where I sit as I speak, spring of 2025, looking back on the fall of 2024. Memory, much like many of my tasks, oft gets forgotten, unfinished, unresolved. Memory, unlike video, is not a hard recording. It is not a firm restructuring of molecules into some medium or arranging a string of numbers on a computer in such a way that they recreate this image from that day. No, memories are much more ephemeral and amorphous than that. Memories are cobbled together by our brain's various subsystems, a smell here, an association there. And we recreate them every time we recall them. If you recall a memory incorrectly over and over again, that becomes your newly overwritten reality. I've done this to myself, for better and for worse. The astonishing red bark of the rare and sadly declining giant manzanita, part of her fire and her energy. She has an association with flame, this being fire country, She evolved in a way to survive and maintain herself in a country of firestorms. I wonder if humans have adapted to that as well. Looking back on this footage and wondering, what will I do with it? I was sitting here on my porch in the morning sun, meditating as I often do. And as this blue and red and green and white high contrast flowed past my eyes, so the memories began to form. We review our lives constantly in our mind. But I often forget that this is a power. Much like scratching a groove into a wax or vinyl record, we can scratch at a place for better and for worse. Reviewing memories, picking at scabs, revisiting old anxieties, we can reinforce the negative, the traumatic, or by revisiting the flow of time in a different way, by seeing it anew, is it possible that we can rewrite a new story over the old one? A more positive perspective? A trick of the mind? Using the foibles of our biology to a spiritual advantage? I don't know. The stellar jay's calls in the morning makes me think. Well, wherever you are, my friends, may you be well. Ciao.